Hello, from the Chameleon team, I'm Jason Anderson, and I'm here to show you how to use Chameleon's new Edge and IoT experimentation testbed, which we call Chi@Edge. So Chi@Edge currently works with what we call FAT devices. These are single-board computers with relatively high processing capabilities, yet low power consumption and form factor. The testbed has support for Raspberry Pis, as well as Jetson Nano and Jetson Xavier devices. We've already configured many such devices for use in your research, but the testbed also supports you enrolling your own device, which is a cool capability I'll explain in a bit. So what can you do with Chi@Edge? Well, as a user interested in edge research, you can make leases for exclusive use of one or more of these devices, which can be located anywhere in the world that has some network connectivity. So here's two devices that I've made a reservation for. Once you've reserved devices, you can then launch application containers directly on the device via a web, Python, or command line interface. Any containers you launch are internally networked and addressable, which allows you to create many different network topologies across a large physical area. You can also use a Chameleon floating IP to allow public connectivity to a container from the internet. For example, you can benchmark popular workloads such as FFmpeg across different device types to better understand bottlenecks in different application topologies. Or you could examine performance of an object detection model, in this case one that counts fish observed from a device located on an autonomous aquatic surveyor, in order to understand if and when to offload processing to the cloud. Or you could create entirely new education experiences, such as this class, which teaches students about fundamentals of self-driving cars using custom car rigs with an onboard device that controls the car's motors, given input from a front-facing camera. All of these have been performed already on Chi@Edge. You can get started with Chi@Edge immediately by making a reservation for any of the devices installed and maintained by the Chameleon team. These include numerous Raspberry Pis and Jetson Nano and Jetson Xaviers, both of which have GPUs on board and available from your container. Some of these devices also have additional capabilities like an attached camera. However, it's infeasible for us to conceive of every possible interesting device configuration, try as we may. One of the coolest features of Chi@Edge is that you can add a device you already have to the testbed. This is very cool because you can easily control the device remotely via the Chi@Edge platform and its web, Python, or command line interfaces. But you can also avoid solving any problems of reconfiguration of containers on the device, as well as the connectivity issues that you may encounter when firewalls or NATs are involved. You can also then share the device with others, for example, with other members of your team, other collaborators, or even external parties, for example, during digital artifact review. Finally, you can use one set of interfaces to instrument both the cloud and the edge, making it much simpler to perform such experiments in the future. For example, the Raspberry Pi on the self-driving car rig was enrolled in Chi@Edge. The instructor did not need to set up any special networking for the cars except allowing them access to a Wi-Fi network. The instructor restricted the cars to only be reservable by the class members, who could then use a Jupyter notebook to deploy new code to the cars, which could then be placed on a track and remotely started by the students. Detailed race data could then be saved or uploaded to the cloud after each run. Students could also experiment with training the model on Chameleon's bare metal testbed, which has much more powerful GPUs, because the interfaces to the cloud and bare metal testbeds were the same. Adding the device you already own to the testbed is easy with the Chi@Edge SDK, which you can install via pip, the Python package manager. The SDK comes with a command line interface that lets you see all devices you've registered onto the testbed. With any given device, you can similarly show more details about its status. Before you enroll your own device, you actually need to make sure you have an application credential set up for your account. To do that, click on the Identity submenu on the left-hand side of the GUI and then go to the Application Credentials section. From here, you can create one. Once you have an application credential, you're free to move forward with registration of your device. You can use the Edge SDK device register command, giving it a few required pieces of information, such as a contact email, the type of device that you're enrolling, the application credential that you just generated, and finally, a name of the device. This will pre-register your device on the Edge testbed. The next step is to customize a base image that will flash and load into the device so it can complete registration. You can find a compatible base image by going to the ChiaEdge documentation and then going to the SDK section of the enrollment page. At the bottom of the page, there's a section about imaging your device with links to the current compatible image. Once you have the image downloaded to your machine, you can use the bake command, pass in the name of the image that you just downloaded, and then an ID of the device that you just registered. This will customize the base image for the target device. Once your base image is customized for your device, the last step is to flash it onto an SD card and then insert it into your device. There are a lot of different tools for doing this, but we recommend Balena Etcher because it's a very simple and easy to use program. You just select the image file that you customized, insert your SD card, and then the program should take care of the rest. Once the SD card is flashed, you can insert it into your device, connect it to its networking source, and then turn it on. You should see it show up into the testbed in about 5 minutes or so. Once your device has finished enrolling into the testbed, you should be able to find it under the reservation section and the device calendar section. All reservable devices are located on this calendar, showing you when they're reserved. You should be able to make a reservation for your enrolled device from here and then use the testbed as you would for any other device enrolled. To learn more about ChiaEdge and see what others are doing on the testbed, check out our Google group, Chameleon Edge Users. We announce new platform features and changes there, as well as answer questions and solicit feedback. So help us shape the testbed to make your research possible. From all of us at Chameleon, thanks for listening.